Practicing frugal living can help you achieve any financial goal, whether that's paying off debt or becoming a millionaire. There are so many ways that being frugal can help you achieve those goals, and today I'm going to share 25 classic frugal living tips that will help you get there. I'm not the most frugal person, but I've learned a ton from all of my friends who practice frugality and minimalism. I hope these tips are very helpful. Take the ones that make sense to you, implement them in your life, and enjoy the savings. So the first classic frugal tip is to turn off the lights when you're not using them. When you leave a room, turn off the lights. When you are leaving the house, turn off all the lights in your house. This will lower your electricity bill and your utilities will really drop if you're consistently turning off lights when you aren't using them. This is also a really simple habit, which is easy to get into the habit of doing, so try it out. The next is to enjoy free entertainment. Almost every place has some level of free entertainment that you can enjoy in your life. So maybe you live in a city where there's free concerts. There are quite a few in my city where you can just go and enjoy live music for free, which is amazing. And then there's also things like parks and doing other activities that are free. There's also things like community centers that do free entertainment. Sometimes they are donation based, but this is a really cheap way to get entertainment without spending a lot of money. The next tip is to wait to upgrade your technology or really anything. Generally, people are in a rush to buy something new, to buy the better option, to buy the latest and greatest. But if you just wait to upgrade your items, you can save a ton of money. If you wait for the next generation to come out, you will generally get a really big discount on what you're purchasing because it's not the best, it's not the greatest, but it's still amazing. A year ago, it was the best and the greatest. And if you just wait a little bit longer, you get a huge discount without losing anything. This is really, really true in technology, so definitely look for those deals and wait until the newest thing has already come out so that you can get the last model and save a ton of money. The next frugal tip is to use up what you already have. There are so many ways to save money, and one of the biggest ones is to actually use what's in your home already. A lot of us don't fully use up what we have before we're out looking for the next thing to buy, so make sure that you're fully using what you have in your home. You're being creative, you're actually looking and not piling stuff into your home. You're making sure that you're using what's already there. This one really applies with food, toiletries, makeup, things like that, where they are consumable, so you're going to be using them and replacing them, but just make sure that you're using it fully before you're moving on to the next thing and trying to reduce waste because that will save you a ton of money. The next classic frugal tip is to eat at home. Make your meals at home. This is so much cheaper than eating out. I've seen a lot of arguments lately that eating out is cheaper than cooking at home, and that is not really true most of the time unless you're going for really cheap, lower quality items when you're purchasing food out of your home, and generally in the long run, not a great idea. So cooking at home, learning how to make meals that are healthy, that are inexpensive is a really great thing to do, and it will save you a lot of money. If you don't know how to cook, if you need recipes, there's a lot of content creators that make inexpensive, healthy meals. You can check out sites like Budget Bites. That's a really good one that I've made recipes from. So it's really easy now in this day and age to use this frugal living tip that's been around forever, but will help you save a lot of money. The next tip is to check your accounts daily. If you don't have a practice where you at least review your spending and your accounts every single day, please get into the habit of doing this. It is a very frugal idea because it will help you identify overspending and bad spending habits before they spiral out of control. It will also allow you to identify any kind of fraud that happens early, but the real benefit here is being in tune with your own spending and making sure that your frugal habits are being applied and showing up in your accounts. So basically you want to make sure that every day you're reviewing what you spent and what your balance is and making sure that those align with your values of trying to get out of debt, to build wealth, things like that. If you really care about doing that, then you'll want to check your accounts probably every single day. The next tip is to use the library. The library is an amazing resource wherever you live. There are books, there are multimedia options to check out. There are all sorts of things at the library. If you have little kids, they have reading hours and extra like activities and things that kids can do when you take them to the library. It's always a great option if you have the ability to get to the library to actually use it because there's a lot you can get there for free. If you like to read on your phone or on a Kindle, you can also check out books via Libby, which is free and a great way to get consistent new books that you're going to enjoy without spending any money. The next frugal tip is to drink less alcohol. Not only is alcohol bad for your body, but it's also bad for your wallet. It is expensive, and if you're going out to drink a lot, lot, it can really add up. So cutting back on the alcohol that you consume is a great way to spend less money. Along the same lines, the next tip is to drink more water. This just means you are opting for water, whether you're at home or in restaurants. You are spending less on drinks of any kind, not just alcohol, but anything like sodas, teas, coffee, things like that are really expensive and they can add up when you are consistently consuming multiple per day. So cutting back on those and just drinking water will save you a lot of money. It's a much more frugal choice. The next tip is to practice free and frugal exercise. So you might not want to pay for a gym membership if you're trying to be frugal. I actually just canceled mine, and instead I'm going to be going to free classes, and I'm going to be using weights at home and walking with friends. There's lots of ways to do frugal and free exercise where you're not spending a lot of money, but you're still being active, and this is a great option if you want to spend less money and be more frugal. The next tip is to eat less meat. So if you are trying to eat a lot of protein, you will want to look into other options, but cutting back on meat at least like one time a week, maybe one meal, maybe one day, or just in general making meat less the star of your meal will save you so much money because meat is the more expensive option at the grocery store. So if you want to be frugal, you can cut back on meat, whether that's reducing your portion size or eating it less often. That will save you a lot of money. The next tip is to shop at your local dollar store. Generally, these stores can have really great sales options on things like household essentials when you are looking at the unit price and what you're getting versus going to another store or buying in bulk. You can sometimes get really great deals here. So just make sure that you're checking the lower cost stores and seeing if maybe you can save a lot more money by shopping at those versus where you might be shopping already. Along with this, a classic frugal tip is to use coupons. In this day and age, the great thing about coupons is that generally you don't actually have to look at a newspaper, clip them out, bring them to the store or anything like that. It's all within the apps that each of these stores have, and when you stack the sales and the coupons that are in the app, it can really add up to your savings. You can save a lot of money just by taking 5 minutes before you go shopping, look at what you're actually buying, check in the store when you're buying things that weren't planned, and making sure that you're getting every single digital coupon that you possibly can. That does require also incorporating the next tip, which is staying organized. Whether it's with shopping for your groceries or anything you're doing, staying organized can help you save so much money. If you're not missing things, you're going to be able to do things early, to get discounts, to save more money. You're not going to be paying late fees. Just staying organized and on top of everything to do with your life and your finances. It can be very difficult, but it's also a frugal way to live because you'll save more money just being organized. The next tip is to make sure you return things if they aren't for you. When you are shopping, sometimes you will buy things that just don't work out for whatever reason. Maybe it's not the right size, maybe the fit didn't work well on clothes, maybe you get something that just isn't right in some sort of way, it's broken. Make sure you take the time to actually return it, to contact the manufacturer, to do what you need to do to get your money back. Don't let it just sit there and then become a problem that's in the corner. Make sure you take the time, return it, get your refund, and actually save the money because that item wasn't for you. Yes, it's an extra step, but it's well worth it to make sure you get your money because you're not going to be using that item. Since that one is mainly about clothes for me personally, let's talk about more clothing options to be frugal and save money with. So one of my favorites that I don't consistently do is to shop your closet. You probably have plenty of clothes, you have a lot of options, and you might even have things in your closet that you've totally forgotten about or just haven't worn in a while. So if you're kind of finding yourself looking online, going to stores, shopping a lot for clothes, make sure that you stop, reevaluate, actually go in your closet, look through what you have, pull things out of storage if you have like your winter clothes put away or your summer clothes put away, kind of see what you already own before you go spend money. This will help you eliminate some of those purchases that are not necessary, and it'll give you a better idea of what you can do with your clothing before you're out there just buying. It can save you a lot of money if you're actually shopping your closet first and making the most of what you already have. The next tip that is a classic frugal one is to wash your clothes in cold water instead of hot. So basically you're going to be saving on your utility bill by doing this, and you're also going to keep your clothes lasting longer. If you have a high efficiency washer, you'll know your clothes are still clean, but you don't have to use all that extra hot water, and you can know that you're saving money on your utilities every time you do this. The next tip is to not fall for bargain shopping. So I have a real problem with this, but I love a good sale. I love clearance sections, but a lot of the times this stuff I am only really buying because I see it's a deal, I see it's on sale, it's not necessarily something I was already planning on buying. And doing this is a cumulative effect of spending way more money than I really need to. So avoiding this habit of buying things just because they're on sale is one of the ways that you can save a lot of money if this is something you do as well. Just avoiding that bargain shopping mentality where you're buying something just because it's on sale, not because you actually need it. Another frugal tip is to get rid of distractions that make you spend money. So you're probably signed up to shopping emails, you're probably following influencers or people that share products online. There's a lot of ways now that you are being put in front of opportunities to spend money that you didn't necessarily have back in the day. So now there are all sorts of ways to constantly spend money. There's microtransactions when you're in apps. There are all sorts of ways to just let your money leak away from you. So getting rid of some of those distractions can be really helpful. Maybe it's unsubscribing from all sales and marketing emails. Maybe it's unfollowing or muting certain people that encourage you to spend money when you're on social media. There's a lot of different ways to do this in your own life, but getting rid of those distractions that encourage you to spend can be really, really helpful and a frugal way to go about your consumption online and just in general. If you need something to fill that in your life instead, maybe start learning things on YouTube. YouTube, of course, in my opinion, is a great platform, and it's a place where a lot of us share all of our knowledge basically for free. You're able to come on here and maybe you have to watch some ads or pay for YouTube Premium, but you're able to learn skills and things that can save you so much money. You can learn how to do almost anything on YouTube, which is amazing. And the fact that it's completely free is so frugal, so wonderful, and just an awesome thing that we have in our lives. If you learn how to do things on your own at home, you learn DIY skills, you can save a lot of money by not having to hire professionals for those low-level tasks that will cost a lot when you're hiring it out, but can be done really simply at home. The next tip is to keep your thermostat moderate. So basically in the winter, when it is cold outside, you're not going to have your heat up as high as possible. In the summer, when it is so hot, it's right now when I'm filming this, it's August, it's 100 something outside, but I'm not gonna have my air conditioning running at full blast, trying to get it to 68 in my house. Instead, I personally have it at 77, which is a little high for some people, but keeping it more moderate, so keeping it closer to the temperature outside, will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. It will basically save a lot of wear and tear on your actual unit that is heating and cooling your house. It's a great way to be frugal and save money. This is especially true if you're gone from your house for 8 to 10 hours a day. If you're not even there, heating and cooling your house for no real reason is gonna waste your money, and it's just not a frugal thing to do. The next frugal tip is to enjoy the outdoors. The outdoors are generally free. Nature is a great way to both improve your mental state, your health, and to save money. Instead of going to a place that you're gonna spend, $20 or something like that, you're going to go for a walk instead. Go to a park. There are free parks and places almost everywhere. Maybe it's not the best one you've ever seen, but I promise you there's a park near you that you could go, you can enjoy, and it will cost you nothing. So getting out in nature and enjoying the outdoors is a great way to save money and stay frugal. And now the last two frugal living tips that I have found really, really helpful in my current stage of life are around food, and this is because food prices have gone up so high in the last couple of years. So the first one is to buy in bulk, and honestly, as a single person, this doesn't really work, and I never did this until I had kids and had a family. But now that there's more than just me in the household, buying in bulk saves us a lot of money. And having a Costco membership or a Sam's Club membership can help you spend way less over time because you're able to buy in bulk and get those deals that are offered at these wholesale clubs. And it can be really, really a great way to save money. You have to be careful because not everything there is saving you money, but if you are smart and buy things in bulk that make sense for you and your family, it can save you so much. And the final frugal living tip is to plan your meals. When we plan our meals, we save so much money. When we don't plan our meals, we end up getting takeout, we end up eating out, we end up buying extra food that we forgot about. Saving money with food is really important when groceries cost so much, and planning your meals can help you do that. Knowing what you need to make a meal every day of the week can be so helpful when you're grocery shopping, so that you're saving money where you can there, and then making sure that you use up your food food by using your meal plan is a great way to avoid food waste, which is basically just throwing your money away because you already bought it, then you're throwing it away. That was your money. Having a meal plan gets you to make a grocery list so you're able to avoid those impulse purchases at the store. It's just all around a great way to save money and something that you can implement pretty easily in your own life. So those are all 25 of the classic frugal living tips that I personally have used to save more money in my life and help me achieve my financial goals faster. And now I hope you hop over to this video. It will give you more on the way to achieving your own financial goals.